Great to see you all. How are you all doing tonight? Are there any Liberals in the house? Let's hear it first off for two amazing leaders in our caucus, Julie DeBruson and Catherine McKenna. Since 2015, Julie has been such a strong voice for the people right here in Toronto, Danforth. She is so dedicated to this community. I know you guys know this, but you are lucky to have her. And Catherine, well, what can I say about Catherine other than she's a total rock star in this government? She has been our point person on the environment since day one, and she's doing an outstanding job for Canadians. So thank you, Julie and Catherine. Listen, before we talk about the incredible work our Liberal team is doing on climate change, I want to address something that I'm sure is on some of your minds this evening. Jane Philpott's resignation from Cabinet. I know Ms. Philpott has felt this way for some time, and while I am disappointed, I understand her decision to step down, and I want to thank her for her service. I want to thank her. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. In democracies, you get people with a wide range of perspectives and voices, and we need to leave room for as many of them as possible. I think that's an important piece of it. So I want to thank Jane. I want to thank Jane for her service, for making tremendous progress on eliminating boil water advisories on reserve, to working on a next-gen solution for the Phoenix pay system. She worked tirelessly with this team to achieve transformational change. We will continue this crucial work. In a democracy like ours, and in a space where we value our diversity so strongly, we're allowed to have disagreements and debate. We even encourage it. This matter has generated an important discussion. How democratic institutions, specifically the federal ministry, and the staff and officials that support it, conduct themselves is critical and core to all of our principles. Concerns of this nature must be taken very seriously, and I can assure you that I am. I know and appreciate the hard work that the Justice Committee is doing. I'm listening carefully to the various voices, testimonies, and opinions. There are more questions still to answer and more to be said in the coming days and weeks. But at the same time, my friends, we need to keep in mind the bigger picture behind this fantastic movement we have built and continue to build. The many issues globally and here at home that we must not let up on. Canadians from coast to coast to coast are counting on us. They need our total commitment to tackling the big things and getting them right. And that includes taking real, meaningful action on climate change. Avant de parler du travail incroyable que fait notre équipe libérale sur le dossier des changements climatiques, je veux prendre un moment pour parler de la démission de Jane Philpott du Conseil des ministres. Je savais que Mme Philpott se sentait comme ça depuis un certain temps, et bien que ça me déçoive, je respecte sa décision de se retirer.
Her decision to step down, and I want to thank her for her service. Whether it was lifting boil advisories or trying to find solutions solutions to fix the Phoenix system. She has worked tirelessly with her team to deliver real change. And that work is continuing. In a democracy such as ours, in a place where we value diversity, there can be differences of opinion and debate. And in fact, that is something that we encourage. Events in recent weeks have led to important discussions on the way our democratic institutions work, including the federal ministry, its staff, and the public service that supports it. That is a critical part of all of our principles. The concerns of that nature have to be taken seriously, and I can assure you that we are taking things seriously. I recognize and I appreciate all the work being done by the Justice Committee. I am listening carefully to the different testimonies and opinions, and we still have a lot of questions to answer, and there will be more to say in the coming days and weeks. At the same time, friends, we have to keep in mind the situation as a whole and think of the fantastic network we have built.
Merci, mes amis.
Thank you, friends.
Merci, mes amis.
Thank you, friends.
Nombreux sont les enjeux à travers le monde.
There are many issues around the world, and we cannot set them aside. Canadians right across this country are relying on us. They have to be able to rely on our total commitment to tackle those big issues and find the right solutions. And that includes taking concrete action to tackle climate change.
My friends, we have important work ahead of us. It's Climate Action Week. And I'm so proud of this team for putting our environment front and center and making sure that life is affordable for families. And frankly, it shouldn't have taken this long for a Canadian government to get real about climate change, because there are a few things all Canadians can agree on. We want our kids to breathe clean air. We want to swim in clean water. And we want to hike through our beautiful parks and spend time in the great outdoors. Oh boy, hang on, it's okay.
We should go, sir. This is not good.
Let's stay a little more.
Someone give me an update here.
It is a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing in Canada that we get to gather in public and exchange ideas and have a political discourse. But we have people who come here to engage in the democratic process, people here to listen, people here to support, and people need to have an opportunity to engage in this democracy. That's what this is all about. There are opportunities to share a broad range of opinions, and tonight we're talking about our real plan to tackle the environment, to fight climate change, and we're doing it together. You know, some of my fondest memories were when I was growing up, which included sailing at Jericho Beach in Vancouver and paddling through Algonquin Park. And I want my kids, Xavier, Ella Grace, and Hadrian, to live in a country where those opportunities still exist, where they want to play outside and explore, and where it's safe for them to do so. Because enjoying our natural world is a huge part of our Canadian identity. Whether you're exploring the Rockies or Gros Morne, sledding up north, or cottaging around the Great Lakes, being outside is central to who we are. And our environment doesn't just fuel our pastimes. In water, on land, and high above us, the Canadian landscape grows our food, connects us to new markets, and powers our communities. It's something to be cherished and protected. Faced with climate change, we don't have a moment to spare. You know the impacts of our changing climate. You see it all around you. Fires that threaten whole cities, droughts that destroy crops, heat waves that claim more and more lives, floods that wipe out rail lines, submerge neighborhoods, and shut down highways. Des feux de forêt, des canicules,
Forest
des
fires
inondations, des
and flooding.
sont de plus en plus fréquents.
Disasters are more and more frequent. The costs of cleanup are going up, and the impact is that much more devastating for communities. And I'm only talking about extreme weather events, forced immigration, and species disappearing. All of these things tell us that the climate is broken.
As communities, as governments, as citizens, we have a responsibility to act. And thanks to your help and your guidance, that's exactly what we're doing. We are making historic investments in public transit and climate-resilient infrastructure. We're phasing out coal. We're introduced a world-leading oceans protection plan. We're making the most significant investment in nature conservation in Canada's history. We're fighting ocean plastics, and as the cornerstone of our plan, we put a price on pollution because it shouldn't be free to pollute anywhere in this country. Earlier today, I met with Andrea and Brian Amaro. They have two young girls, Ava, age 2, and Zoe, age 1. Andrea is a teacher on mat leave. Brian has a tech startup and works from home. They're a down-to-earth family who've worked hard to build a good life for themselves in Mississauga. Well, I got the chance to talk to them about our price on pollution and how their family will be better off because of it. After all, the average family of 4 will get back more money than they pay out. With the climate action incentive, the average Ontario family of 4 will get over $300 back on their taxes this year. For 80% of Ontario families, that's more money than they'll pay out directly over the year. We're making polluters pay and giving that money back to Canadians.
Scientists and economists are in favor of putting a price on carbon. Half of the global economy has put a price on carbon.
BC has had a price on pollution for over a decade. And guess what? In BC, emissions are down, jobs and growth are up. Putting a price on pollution is the best, most effective way to leave a healthier planet for our kids. And yet, in spite of the evidence, there are some politicians who still don't get it. Believe it or not, there are some who think we should do nothing on climate change. Some pollutions who won't just try to stop our progress, but will actually take us backwards to the Harper days. It was in April of last year that Andrew Scheer announced he'd soon be unveiling his climate change plan. April of last year. Well, here we are in March of 2019, 309 days later, and he has released nothing. Shame. But hold on. Let's give these Conservatives a break. After all, they've been busy. Busy stoking fear and division. Busy telling us that we should have caved to the Americans on NAFTA. Busy backing Brexit before it was cool, to quote Andrew Scheer. In the absence of a real plan, we can only assume that the Conservatives will go back to the approach that they know best, neglecting the environment. C'est toujours la même équipe du côté des conservateurs.
It's always the same team on the Conservative side. All you have to do is look at their team in Atlantic Canada, where most of their candidates ran or served under Stephen Harper. Friends, we cannot go back to the Harper times. That will not only slow our progress on climate change, but it will take us 10 years back.
Andrew Scheer said that the first thing he'd do if he's elected Prime Minister is get rid of the price on pollution. Think about that. The first thing he'd do as Prime Minister would be to make pollution free again. You want to know the first thing we did when we got elected? We cut taxes for the middle class and raised them on the wealthiest 1%. Because that's what it means to put families and workers first in this country. The Conservatives spend all their time talking about how they'd make pollution free again, rather than about talking about the economy and jobs. But here's the thing. They don't actually want to talk about the economy, because our economic plan, with its focus on the middle class, is working. We chose to invest in our communities and in our people. We invested in clean tech, in skills training and small businesses. We invested in schools and housing and childcare. We strengthened the CPP, and we introduced the new Canada Child Benefit for families. And the results are in. Nearly 900,000 new jobs, most of them full-time. The lowest unemployment in 40 years. 825,000 Canadians lifted out of poverty. Liberals, my friends, the proof is there. Real change is working. Et regardons les choses en face. Ce ne sera pas facile de s'attaquer au changement climatique et léguer une planète en meilleur état à nos enfants et à nos petits-enfants. Real, meaningful action to deliver a healthy environment while making sure life is affordable for families will take a lot of hard work from everyone. But you know what else took a lot of hard work? The Acid Rain Treaty. The immigration policies that we built this country with, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, universal health care. This is the Canadian way. We face the challenges in front of us head on together. We don't cower because something is hard. As Liberals, we know that there's even more reason to do it now and to do it right. It's 2019, and if you don't have a plan for climate change, then you don't have a plan for the economy, and you certainly don't have a plan for Canada's future. Leadership is about facing reality head on. It's not about sticking your head in the sand and ignoring what's all around you. It's not about fighting progress in court. Canadians deserve better than that. Canadians deserve real leadership. As Liberals, we will continue to take real action on climate change. We will continue to support middle-class families, and we will always, always put people first. So, my friends, let's get down to work, let's keep talking to Canadians, and let's go knock doors, because we all know better is always possible. Thank you very much. Merci, mes amis. Merci. Merci.